This is a explanation of interval notation, comparing it to inequality notation, which you've had in Algebra 1, the new set builder notation, and then interval notation. So we see three different ways that you can write a domain, a range, or just a set of numbers. We see that when we're doing set notation, it will always have the brackets on either side, or braces, and then it will be x such that 0 is less than x is less than or equal to 5, and then braces. On inequality, we drop the braces and we just identify it, but we still have to make sure that we identify what our variable is. So in this case, it's 0 is less than 5, x is less than or equal to 5. When we do interval notation, we drop the variable completely and we simply do our two endpoints. If it is a less than scenario, like 0 is less than x, then we are going to use a parenthesis. If it is a greater than scenario, less than or equal to scenario, then it is a brace. So a note up at the top is parentheses is less than or equal to or greater than signs. Braces are less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Also, if you have an open hole, or it is the parentheses, closed hole is the braces. If it is infinity, we also used the parentheses. Okay, so here's some examples. So example 1, we have the set notation of x is such that 2 is less than x is less than 6. So if we wanted to write this as inequalities, we would just drop all of the extra and simply write 2 is less than x is less than 6. And then our interval would be 2 and 6, but we would use parentheses because both of these were less than signs. And then we would have open holes if we were doing it on a number line. So on the next example, we have negative 2 is less than or equal to x, negative less than or equal to 4. So our inequality drops all of the extra and just says negative 2 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 4. So on our number line, we should have dots at negative 2 and at 4, and it says x is between them, so we're going to connect those two. Our interval notation would be negative 2, 4, and because of the equal signs, we're going to put braces. All right, next one is x such that, and it's left open, so we're going to check the next thing. It says inequality is x is less than or equal to negative 1, and our interval is from negative infinity because it's less than negative 1, and it says all x is less than negative 1, to negative 1 inclusive because there is an equal sign. So that's a closed dot with an arrow. So we're going to fill this one in, and really all we have to do is copy our inequality. X is less than or equal to negative 1. On our next example, we have, we don't know what it is until we get to intervals, so it tells us we are 3 inclusive to infinity, which means everything from 3 up to infinity. That is going to be a closed hole up to an arrow. So if we were writing that as an inequality, first step, we say x is everything bigger than 3 or equal to because of the brace. So our set notation is x is greater than or equal to 3, x such that x is greater than or equal to 3. This one says x is all real numbers. So whenever we do real numbers, same kind of scenario, this means all numbers from the smallest possible number you can think of, negative infinity, to the biggest possible number you can think of, infinity. So it's literally double arrowed, nothing on the dots. And when we're writing it as an inequality, we would simply write x is an element of all real numbers. And that is everything.